I really don't know who the best one-loss team is. Do you guys know? It's a real question. Because if we're going to go based off of eye test, the best one-loss team is probably Oregon. If we're going to go based off of win, the best win is probably Oklahoma over Texas. The second best win is probably Texas over Alabama. That was obviously on the road, so maybe you give that one extra credit. Penn State might have the best defense among the group. Are there others that need to be included as well? Do we need to add Ole Miss to that group? What about Missouri? Missouri has a chance, and we'll find out this week with Missouri, but where should they be in the one-loss conversation? How about Louisville? Their one loss, I know people say, well, that's a bad loss to Pitt, and I don't disagree, but I can watch and say, you know what, it was kind of rainy and nasty, and it was just a weird day the week after they played and beat Notre Dame. Louisville's still pretty good, but I mean, all those things are fair. But I can't recall a time in which it's more difficult to assess and rank team 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever, all the way through the one-loss candidates right now. Now, if we're going to be a prisoner of the moment, we're absolutely going to put Oregon at the top of the list. That's who I'd have. They just went on the road and beat Utah in about as convincing a fashion as one can imagine. Offense, defense, completely and totally dominant. That did not look like Utah. Anyone that's watched Utah the last handful of years, you know that was a very uncharacteristic performance, and it was because of just how good Oregon was. So Oregon should be the highest ranked one-loss team at the moment. The second highest ranked one-loss team should be Oklahoma. You're going to say, Greg, hang on a second. They have to drop. If you look at the AP poll, they dropped 4 spots. How can you not drop them more? Because they beat the team that I would have right behind them in the Texas Longhorns. And while I think Oklahoma's really human, they won the head-to-head against Texas. And I have to value that. I have to care about that. Then, if you want to go one step further, Texas won the head-to-head against Alabama. If they played that game again, would the result be the same? Not without a healthy Quinn Ewers, I don't think. But either way, I still think that Texas can and will be a huge factor as we move forward in the college football world. So they would have to be the third highest ranked one-loss team, then Alabama, and then you can get to Penn State. Alabama has better resume than Penn State at the moment, and I think Bama, for all intents and purposes, is more complete. Even though they are inconsistent offensively, I think they're more consistent than what we get from Penn State on a week-to-week basis. So who's the best one-loss team in your eyes? Answer us at AlwaysCFB. I think you can make a really, really strong case for every single one-loss team. That's within reason, right? I'm not asking you to put random run-of-the-mill G5 one-loss teams up there. I'm talking about teams from the Power 5 that can legitimately go the distance. How would you have them ranked? Tell us and let us know. We look forward to seeing your answers.
Is Missouri the most surprising one-loss team? Or is it Ole Miss? Or is it Louisville? Who's your most surprising? Oklahoma?
No. I think I had Louisville in the ACC championship game.
Yes, you did.
So they are not as surprising to me as some of the others. The most surprising is Missouri. We had Ole Miss ranked at number 13 in our preseason poll. People said it was way too high. We had them ranked 6, 7 spots ahead of Tennessee. People said that we're nuts, all these other things. So we were pretty right on Ole Miss too. I'm not like pounding the table. There's plenty we got wrong as well. I did not anticipate Missouri being in this situation and looking as good as they've looked. Now, I thought Missouri had a chance to be improved from last year, but not sitting here entering November with 1 loss. The Kansas State win is amazing. The way they beat some of the teams they've beaten so far, the way they battled against LSU was pretty impressive as well. And I think a lot of people have a ton of respect for LSU, and people will look at that. Well, it was a 10-point margin of victory for the Tigers, for the LSU Tigers. Well, Missouri actually had the ball driving to take the lead and potentially win, if not for a pick six there at the very end to put the game on ice. So the biggest surprise for sure amongst the one-loss teams is Missouri.